Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Tiger flipping steps పెడతారు
Rama Rama,
సల్ల ఫుడ్ నేను వస్తాయి
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Nam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajagacharya Ashtottara Sisiman A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Sri Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Shri Advaita Giradhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadip Dham ki jai. Mathura Dham ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Tulsi Devi ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. Smirai. Sarvatai. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj. So, before Maharaj start the class, I would like to give a brief introduction about Maharaj. Maharaj is a very successful person in his academics. And after seeing Srila Prabhupada, he joined with the Srila Prabhupada movement by giving up all his materialistic education. And he assisted Srila Prabhupada in spiritual sky products. He worked as a sales manager. After that, Maharaj visited various countries to preach these bhakti programs all over the world. And currently, Maharaj is a president for Rupanuga Vedic College, where he is teaching all the Vedic subject matters. Also, Maharaj translated many wonderful literatures like cosmology, and his prominent translation is Garga Samhita. So I already posted that link in this group. So I requested everyone to go through that one. Maharaj is very empowered personality, and he is empowering many other souls all over the world to give to make them as Krishna consciousness. Maharaj, over to you. Please start.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here with you. I've never been to Brunswick, but I'm happy to be with you today. And I'll try to speak something as I was requested to speak about the topic of reading the scriptures every day, the importance of that. There's a verse in the Bhagavatam, Nashtaprayeshu Apadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki. It means that all the inauspicious things in our heart become cleansed. Nashtaprayeshu Apadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Almost to nil if one hears the glories of the Lord and he serves that's Book Bhagavat. Book Bhagavat means the Lord in the form of his book. That means things spoken about him are Bhagavat, and things spoken by him, by the Lord, they're also Bhagavat. Bhagavad Gita. So by hearing such things, all the inauspicious things in the heart become destroyed. It's in Nityam. So Nityam means regularly or eternally, always. So actually, we should be thinking of the Lord all the time, his name, form, pastimes, paraphernalia. There's a statement in the Vedas that one should Smartavyam Satsam Vishnu, Vishmartavyam Gat, Smartavyam Nagachitit. One should always remember Vishnu and never forget him. That's the goal of our life, should be to remember Vishnu always and never forget him. But it's easy to forget him in Kali Yuga. It's easy to forget him in this environment where many people, most of the people have forgotten about Vishnu. They don't even know there's a God anymore. They're not sure. It's become very forgetful. So how can we keep our remembrance of Vishnu going? We have scriptures. We have the Bhagavatam, we have the Bhagavad Gita. We have so many nice scriptures, Puranas, and Itihasas, Ishopanad, 108 Upanishads, and we have other Samhitas also, books by the Vaishnavacharyas. So we can hear those, and that will remind us of Krishna. To counteract the effect of what we're hearing during the day, we're hearing many material sounds, we're reading material things, we're listening to or watching material images. So we become forgetful of Krishna. We forget how beautiful he is. We forget how nice it is just to be engaged in his service. And we start thinking that I can be the enjoyer. Because the only reason for this material world is because so many living entities thought that they could be the enjoyer instead of Krishna. So Krishna creates a world for them. They can try to act out their fantasies and be the enjoyer. And everyone's trying to be the enjoyer singly. And so it makes for easy quarrel. Easy time to quarrel because if someone else wants to be the supreme, he wants to go first, and I also want to go first, and there'll be a quarrel. Quarrel can be on a small scale, but it escalates to my family against his family, my religion against his religion, my country against his country, and pretty soon we have a mess where everyone's hating everyone else because they're not letting them become number one. So we want to remember that we're not number one, we're not the supreme, we're happiest when we're just serving the supreme. If we try to become number one and get everyone to serve us because of our greatness, we'll be frustrated. But if we just try to do the best we can to serve Krishna, then everything goes smoothly and nicely, and we reach the perfection. So that's why the scriptures are there, Vyasadeva is the compiler of the Vedas. He did that because people in Kali Yuga can't remember the Vedas. In previous ages, they could remember the Vedas, even hearing them once. They wouldn't forget. But in this age, our memories are not very great. Prayanak Payasaksavya Kalavasmin Yugajana Mandasmanamatayo Mandabhakya Hivatuta. This describes the disqualifications of the people in Kali Yuga. But through literature, especially Srila Prabhupada's books, have acted so wonderfully that when people hear about the Lord from the lips of a pure devotee, then not only do they remember the Lord, but they fall in love with Him again. Their love for Him increases, and that's a good thing. As instead of loving Krishna, we're trying to love dead matter, beginning with our bodies and then all the other dead matter that goes along with it. But when we try to love Krishna, He's transcendental. His form is transcendental. And His abode is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. And we're also His Tasta Shakti, where His marginal energies were part and parcel of Him. Mamai Vang So Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We're meant to be engaged in blissful life eternally. So this is a simple process, and Prabhupada's books have done that because he's not only telling them about Krishna, but it's getting sweeter. In the Bhagavatam, it said that Danavir Goswami, he was speaking the glory of the Lord so beautifully that it was like a parrot putting his beak into the fruits. When a parrot puts his beak in the fruits taste sweeter. So Prabhupada's explanation of Sri Goswami's recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, etc., is so sweet. And even Sanjaya said, when he was describing the Bhagavad Gita to Maharaj Dhritarashtra, the blind king, he said the topics that are conducted with Krishna and Arjuna are the sweetest. There's nothing sweeter. And they just keep getting better and better. So there's no harm. We can use new technology for presenting the path of the Lord. We're a little hesitant because it's such powerful tools in the wrong hands. But in the right hands, all these different types of technology can be utilized to bring forward the pastimes and beauty of Krishna. Are there any questions that anyone
Recording
would like
in progress.
to discuss?
How should we ask questions? Should we raise the hand on the participants thing, or should we just ask?
Should I ask that question?
I was asking, I guess, the host.
Hare Krishna, if anybody has a questions, you can unmute yourself and ask question to Maharaj.
Okay, could I ask one, Maharaj?
Yeah.
I was just wondering, we might want to read regularly, but it gets really difficult to find the time with so many different responsibilities or duties or things. So we might have like a full day of different activities, even if they might be like in service to Krishna, but then we don't find any time for reading. So I was just wondering how we can somehow or other.
Well, I found time for reading
Hare Krishna.
by making a special effort to get up early. By getting up early, I'm speaking out real early before Mangalarti, I found it to be a very wonderful time for reading and writing. Prabhupada also used that time for writing. So if you can get up early and read it, you won't feel guilty because somewhat we have this work ethic.
కృష్ణ monks ఆనంద ప్రియ ఉన్నారు.
We have a work ethic where we think that if we're not doing some heavy work, then we're wasting our time or we should be engaged in doing something more positive. I even felt that in the temple, although maybe others weren't thinking that way, but I was thinking there, if I was reading and they were doing some, taking out the rubbish or cleaning the kitchen, they might think, why doesn't he join us? We're doing all the pots and he's just sitting there reading. So that's why I got up early to be before Mangalarti because nobody's bothered me and I didn't bother anyone else. But you try that, if that doesn't work, then you just make a list. Wherever you go, you bring your book with you, your book that you're reading, and if there's a few minutes, let's say you're taking a train to work. I don't know if anyone takes trains to work in Brunswick, but I know there are lots of trains in New York City. Anyway, if you're on the way, you're driving, or you're waiting for something, pull out your book and read. Don't waste time. Every moment is worth more wealth than all the gold in the world, Chanakapana says. It's the most valuable thing. So don't waste your time. You have 24 hours. So try to get up early, go to bed early. The key if you want to get up early is to go to bed early. If you stay up late, you have a hard time getting up early. So early to rise, early to bed, early to rise, makes a man wealthy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Benjamin Franklin. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Can I
Ga-
ask?
Hare Krishna. Can I?
Yes, Mataji, please proceed.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, here is Pavani, Devi Dasi. I would like to ask, it seems to me that I'm reading Bhagavad Gita for a few years now. I'm doing Bhakti Shastri, so we are studying again Bhagavad Gita, and I don't seem to, even though I read the other books, I don't seem to get away from Bhagavad Gita. Does it matter if I read all my life just Bhagavad Gita?
Well, you can also read other books. Bhagavad Gita is the introductory. And if we're following the principles of Bhakti Yoga, we can go on and read the other books. We have Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. These are the advanced books for those who are more advanced. And that more advanced, that refers to those who are following, chanting 16 rounds, following the principles. They're ready for going on to these other scriptures. If someone's having difficulty with those things, then yes, Bhagavad Gita is very good to purify himself and to understand the basics. But the other books are also there, and And the Vaishnavas are always supplying more opportunities to glorify Krishna. It's like the Goswamis, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they presented Nana Shastra Vicharanaikanipano Sadhana Sangstapako Lokam Hitakarano Shravu Manyo Sharanya Karo Radha Krishna Padana Nandena Mataliko Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghu Goshi Jiva Gopaliko. They're always writing books, studying the books, and writing themselves about glorification of Krishna. So yes, you can read more books, but not necessarily just read. We read and serve. Serve the pure devotee. The spiritual master gives us so much duties, especially Sankirtan, trying to bring the knowledge of Krishna to others. That's very important work. But you'll get so much inspiration from reading the scriptures. From doing that, you won't be able to stop preaching.
Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj.
Anyone from Brunswick have any questions?
Sorry, Maharaj?
Anyone from Brunswick have any questions?
Anyone? Yeah. Go
Hare
ahead.
Krishna Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. It was such a nice, wonderful class, Maharaj. I have a practical challenge with my kids and various other services. I am not able to sleep early, and in the same way, that impacts my wake up time. So I am not able to wake up before 5 o'clock. So I have a desire, but due to my tamas nature or my inability, I'm not able to. So I seek blessings, and also I seek in this kind of situations, how can we manage our morning sadhana efficiently?
I don't know if I've heard all of your points, but you were just saying how we get up early in the morning. Whatever time you get up, that's good. It's a good start. And if you get up at 5, that's good. So go from there and engage yourself fully. What's the difficulty that you have?
She's not able to wake up before 5 o'clock, Maharaj. So she's asking some guidance. How can she can wake up before 5 o'clock?
Well, I don't know. If you have some good alarm clock, it helps. If you have some friends that like to get up early, and you can get up early with them. I don't know if she said she had any physical. Her children keep her up. Oh, children keep you up. Yeah, those things, I don't know. You have to try your best. Krishna will help you. The children, if they're trained to get up early, then they like it. And they will make sure that the parents get up. So try to get the children up. Prabhupada wanted that. The children also get up early. Because then they get accustomed to being enthusiastic during the Brahma Muhurta period and being engaged.
Thank you.
Thoughts?
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Please bless us, Maharaj.
So anybody from our congregation, anybody has any questions about book reading?
Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, I have a question on how do we remember what we read? What kind of system or tips you would give us to take notes from what we read from different scriptural books and Prabhupada books?
Notes. How do we keep notes?
Yes, Maharaj.
Well, I would suggest you pick the topics that are most crucial to you. For example, rising early, or let's say another one is studying the scriptures. So you want to know, you want to get how to understand the importance of studying the scriptures, so I'll do it more. Maybe I don't understand how important it is. So then, either if you have a database, you can use that, and you can look up everything. Or you can just take notes on notebooks. And then you write down the quotes that you've read that really stand out. That this one really answers, this one really helps me a lot. When I read this quote, I understand how important it is to study the books. And whatever it may be. And so then you keep all these quotes. Every once in a while you refer to them, you read them again, and they'll give you again sustenance. They'll encourage you again to study more. And then you add your topics. You have one topic about studying and one topic about how to preach to more people or whatever it may be. Prabhupada's books are a gold mine, answering any questions you have, especially about bhakti. He knows everything about bhakti. He used to quote the slogan and said, one should know everything, a little about everything, and everything about one thing. So the one thing we should know everything about is bhakti. And Prabhupada has given us a very long list of books about bhakti. He's the expert. But that's how I started my study programs. Write it down, or use a computer, type it in there, start a file. And then you'll have, before you know, you'll have some wonderful verses that will encourage you to do certain things you want to do, and not to do things you don't want to do. So you want to say, what are the negatives of lust? What's the harm of lust? Oh, big harm. So write down all these verses, or all these statements about, promises about lust, the harm of it. Then next time you think about lusty things, read your notes. Your notes will convince you, don't even think about that nasty thing.
Thank you, Maharaj. Very useful.
Jai.
Vijayendra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Maharaj. Dandavat pranam on your lotus feet, Maharaj. So Maharaj, I have a question regarding reading speed of the Prabhupada's books. I mean, we should feel, realize and read, or we should just read and then automatically realize. I mean, what would be the ideal speed of reading those books?
Well, I would recommend in the beginning, you read at whatever speed you want to, you feel like reading. You shouldn't be under any pressure to finish them in a certain period of time. Just in the beginning, just read so you understand. And that understanding may not include things like being able to relate which verse went here, which verse led there, and that's not what I mean by understanding. I mean understand what's being said and what the lessons are. And then we'll go through them again, and you can take notes. I didn't take any notes the first time I read the book, but it had devastating effect. Just reading the book, Bhagavad Gita, has devastated my whole material world. But I didn't take notes. But later on, I took notes. And then I slowed down, studied it. Sometimes if you write some articles or something, books, you can use the writing opportunity, which encourages us to read in great depth, because when you put something in writing, You have to make sure it's correct. Otherwise, you don't want to put it in writing. You may say it if it's not perfect. Not that you should, but you do. But writing, you have to be very careful to make sure it's. So that requires more study. But in the beginning, we're not there to write. We're here to learn. Hear. Shravanam Kirtanam. So first hearing Shravanam, then Kirtanam. So I would say, I advise the newcomer into reading, just go through at a pace that you feel comfortable with. Just go through straight. Don't worry about things you didn't understand the first time through. It's not necessary. Whatever you understood, that's great. And then go on. If you're able to follow the regular principles, chant 16 rounds, then go on to Bhagavatam, read first canto, second canto, and you'll become so happy just to know that this knowledge is there. It's dealing with all the problems of life. And it's dealing from so many different angles. Prabhupada wrote me one letter, he said, study this philosophy with penetration. From every angle, you'll see it's perfect. Sociology is perfect, philosophy, religion, military arts, medical science, you name it, astronomy, Vedic cosmology. There's so many different things in the Vedas, all subjects. And just like reading through the books Prabhupada gave, which is a lot, Chaitanya Charitamrita, you'll read through that, you'll see the different pastimes of a devotee of the Lord. How the Lord behaves like a devotee in this world. He's God, but he's playing the part of the devotee of God. So what could be more interesting than that? God teaching how to be a devotee. So it's got to be enlivening. Those are my thoughts about the reading speed.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much. Thanks for answering.
Any other questions from our congregation?
If I can, I would like to ask another question.
Yes, Mataji, please proceed.
Where is the source of determination to do one's duty?
Well, when Prabhupada was asked that about determination, he said celibacy is what gives us determination. So, strict celibacy means also chastity, that we're thinking not of our sense gratification, but we're thinking of pleasing Krishna. Just like a wife, she's faithful to her husband even while he's away. She's not thinking of anyone else. But there are some who still think of other men or other women for their sense gratification. So then they won't have determination. Celibacy is important. Then you can, and probably give you an example of Mahatma Gandhi. When he was, I think, 37 years old, he decided to take up brahmacharya life, even though he was married. He decided no more indulging in any sexual affairs. And he became so determined that he wanted the British out of India, and he did it. So that type of determination comes when a person who's firmly fixed in devotional service, which means without attachment to the material sense gratification, then he becomes very determined. Utsaha nishaya dharya tatat karma bhavartana. Sangatyaga satovate shadbir bhakti pranashti. Enthusiasm, determination, patience. That determination that comes, the becomes enthusiastic in devotional service. And he's following the principles. Tatat karma bhavartana. So we have to follow the regular principles, control our senses, and go on serving, and keep the mind engaged. Sadhana Krishna Pranavadana. Always keep the mind engaged, lotus feet of Krishna. Mamarava Mad Bhakto. Always think of me, Krishna says. And me means Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's paraphernalia, Krishna's entourage, Krishna's abode. It's all Krishna. And it'll help us become determined. And we want to finish up our business in this lifetime. We don't have to come back again, see what's going on in Kali Yuga here. We don't want to come back. We want to go back to Godhead now, in this lifetime. We have a good opportunity. Can't get a better opportunity than this. Lord Chaitanya was just here a few hundred years ago, in the memory of everyone. Krishna was here. He spoke Bhagavad Gita. And we have a perfect example of what happens when you don't follow Krishna. How it's suffering. So there's no excuse for not wanting to go back to Godhead in this lifetime and succeeding in doing it. By the grace of Guru Krishna Prasade Bhai Bhakti Lata Beach. Brahmande Brahmate Kono Bhagavan Jeev. Guru Krishna Prasade Bhai Bhakti Lata Beach. It's possible to do in this lifetime. If we're fortunate enough to have a spiritual master who's coming in the line of disciplic succession, everything's auspicious. We just have to follow his instructions. Everything will be fine.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, I was thinking when we do the services at the temple, we know that we are serving on behalf of our Guru Maharaja. We are assisting our Guru Maharaj, like whether it is Vyasasan, deity worship, cooking, anything. But that's especially on Vyasasan, the feeling of I don't have the qualification comes in between what we want to say and basically what we want to say. How do we come over this disqualification feeling, Maharaj?
Well, we always want to improve our service, but the Lord has given us, through the medium of the spiritual master and shastras, Guru Shastra Sadhu, we have a good example of so many services to perform, and they are important. They're not just ordinary activities. Everything that one does in the service of Krishna, even if he's a householder, he's taking care of the house, but who owns the house? Krishna is the owner of the house. So if you're keeping the house clean for the owner, then you engage in devotional service, because Krishna is the owner. And you're cooking for Krishna, offering the food to him first. Wherever you eat, wherever you offer and give away, whatever austerities you may perform, do it as an offering unto me. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So it's all important. It's not that only the pujari is important and everybody else is not important. No, if you clean the temple, that's just as important as dressing the deities. The same category.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Marjanadishu. Marjanadishu means cleaning the temple. Lord Chaitanya showed us how to clean the temple. And the Gunjicha pastime. It's all important. All these things are important. Tulsi Maharani, worship is important. And keeping clean clothes, keeping the body clean, keeping the heart clean, keeping chanting the rounds, keeping gardens, make everything nice, fresh. Preach to everyone you meet. Jai Daki Tarika Krishna Pradesh. Amaya Agya Guru Hanatani Desh. Wherever you go, whomever you meet, speak of Krishna. Lots of people to preach to. You can't say I've preached to all the people. So keep trying to increase your preaching, or assist those who are expert preachers, and you can be the backup team. It's also the same.
Thank you, Maharaj. So, His Holiness Danavir Goswami Maharaj is also initiating Guru. From our Brahmanic congregation, if anybody would like to take aspiration, shelter, or Diksha from the Maharaj, please let us know. I will connect you to the Maharaj personal secretary or to the Maharaj so that you can fulfill all required requirements, and then Maharaj will award the shelter or initiation as you desire. And Maharaj, could you please throw some light on your literature like cosmology, the Garga Samhita and all, so that everybody will get inspired and read those books as well.
Thank you. Yes, I have the full set of Garga Samhita here, 30 volumes. It was an amazing thing that happened. My godbrother Kushakrata Prabhu, who is a Sanskrit scholar, he had translated 6 cantos of the Garga Samhita. And I read those 6 cantos and they were beautiful. I asked him if he was going to write any commentary. He said, no, I'm just translating. I said, well, maybe I could write a commentary. I'm not a Sanskrit scholar, but I can read what you've written. I can see what you've translated. And I can write translation commentary. So he agreed, and I began writing. And it's just the project must have been divine from the beginning because Krishna allowed it to just keep going. And I started getting up earlier and earlier in the morning, like 1 o'clock. Prabhupada's mercy, I got his mercy to be able to do that. And so the writing went forward, and finally we caught up with the first 6 cantos. And then Kushakrata left this planet, left the world. So without completing the translation. So I contacted some other Sanskrit scholars, students of Gopi Puranadana Prabhu, and they agreed to translate the rest. And the rest actually was more verses than the first half, the first 6 cantos. There's 10 cantos. So they translated from 7th canto to 10th canto. And the whole series has 12,000 verses, honey sweet verses. And it's like a corollary to the Bhagavatam. companion, to the Bhagavatam, because it just many of the same pastimes, but it may give the view of Gargamuni. And Gargamuni is a great scholar, famous scholar, and he is the priest of the Yadu dynasty. So I'll just pick one out here just by random. And so they're hardback. They're about 400 pages in my glasses. I go over there behind the bookcase. Yeah. So they're done in the same style as Prabhupada's Bhagavatam. Can I show it here? Maybe. Yeah. So Sanskrit, Devanagari, then transliteration, and then word meanings, then translation, and then purport, or elaborate commentary by myself. So I wrote the commentary for all the 10 cantos completely, and it's just now finished, just within a few weeks, and we're very excited about it, and we'd like to encourage anyone who has the opportunity to get a set while they last. They weren't put in large quantity because we haven't got such a large number of people in the world who are interested, but I think you'll love it. And it goes perfectly together with the Bhagavatam. And here's a quote by Gopi Pranadana Prabhu. Here's what he says about the Garga Samhita. He says, the confidential science of pure devotional service is taught explicitly only in a few Vedic scriptures little known to the public. Amongst these rare texts are the Gopal Tapani Upanishad, the Narada Pancharatra, the Garga Samhita, the Vishnu Purana, the Harivamsa Upa Purana, the Uttara Kanda of the Padma Purana, and the Bhagavatam Mahapurana. And Gopi Pranadana is a very qualified person. You may have, those of you who know him, his impeccable character and his translations, especially he helps with all the Bhagavatam, and he translated by himself the Brihad Bhagavatamrita by Danavir Goswami. So he's a good authority on the importance of Garga Samhita. And there's many other. Bhakti Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he quotes in his own writings, his own books, 27 times he quotes the Garga Samhita on different subjects of Krishna consciousness. So it has value, and it's bona fide, and each volume has 32 pages. I'll show you. 32 pages of illustrations, which go along with the verses, which is the text, so one can follow along nicely. It helps increase the understanding, and it's colorful, full color. think you get the idea. So I think you'll like it. Good binding, very first class stitch binding, and Sanskrit verses are all rhymed like Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva was a disciple of Narad Muni, and Garga Muni is also a disciple of Narad Muni. And Narad Muni gave Garga Rishi the same instruction, practically, that he gave to Vyasadeva. Please write about your memories of the passions of the Lord, because Garga Muni was here. Garga Muni named Lord Krishna and Balaram. He was the name-giving priest. Garga Muni arranged the marriage between Vasudeva and Devaki. And so there's many things here you'll enjoy reading. It's in no way repetitive, but it's very exciting. I know as I was reading through and began writing it increased my appreciation and love for the Srimad Bhagavatam more and more. So I think that it'll have that effect for others too. In fact, I have some, I don't have them right handy, but some of my God brothers and God sisters have written some. Oh, you're going to try to find it? Okay. And that's a few words about the Garga Samhita. 30 volumes, approximately 400. Yeah, here's some quotes. Go up. I think it's up. Oh, maybe down a little bit. Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, I'll read these. This one is by Nirantara Das. He says, quote, these volumes, Garga Samhita, unpack so many details, enhancing what we learn from Krishna book and Bhagavatam. Nirantara Das. And here's another quote. I have personally read all 17 volumes.
Yes, Maharaj, please continue.
Okay. So I have personally read all 17 volumes of the Garga Samhita. At that time, there were only 17 volumes available. He says, and I've gained so many valuable insights from your purports. I often quote what you have written in my lectures. That was written by Indra Swami. Then here's another devotee. He says, what a fabulous offering to the world. This work, Garga Samhita, is a reservoir of inspiration and joy. I drink from it regularly. Nimai Das, Nathan Bliss. And here's another one. Quote, a huge victory for Vaishnavism. The significance and how it multiplies over time. Absolutely astounding. Jivadaya Das of Kansas City wrote that. So there are some appreciations of modern day readers. So you can make it available for yourself. If you order it, we'll send it free shipping to your home, UPS ground. So you'll get it in a few days. And even though you may think, I don't have time for reading it, but your children can read it. You want to keep the children away from any mundane activities. So you have to give them some wonderful engagement for their minds, for their intelligence. Keep their mind engaged. And this is a good way to do it because they love it. And there can be pastimes, so many nice pastimes in here. It's a wonderful scripture.
Yes, Sri Lalla Mataji, please proceed.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances onto your lotus feet. Just wanted to know, Maharaj, it's out of curiosity, which was the first book you read of Srila Prabhupada which attracted you towards this philosophy and this path of Krishna consciousness?
What attracted me? Well, what attracted me most was that Prabhupada had made a disciple out of one of my friends. So when I saw my friend had become a Hare Krishna devotee, I was shocked. And I started asking him questions, explaining what he's doing. And he did. And in the course of doing that, the philosophy came out. The philosophy came out that we're not these bodies and the purpose of life. And then he taught the principles that he was following, celibacy and no eating meat, no gambling, no intoxication. I thought that was brilliant. Nobody had ever told me that before. I didn't know that had anything to do with spiritual life. But this devotee who was my friend formerly, he was so transformed that I was just amazed. And therefore I got attracted and I decided I'll become a Hare Krishna devotee.
Haribol.
Huh?
Haribol Maharaj. Haribol Maharaj.
Yeah, Haribol.
Thank you.
It was amazing because in that one night, he convinced me that I should give up everything and become a devotee. And so I did that.
So, devotees, if anybody interested, Garga Samhita full set, please express your desire now so we can place an order for Maharaj. Is anybody interested?
Thanks, Maharaj.
It's full of Krishna pastimes, very detailed pastimes.
Rishi Kumar, he's present. He can tell a few words about the link that he established.
In the WhatsApp chat here, there's a link. It was previously posted on here from Gopi Kanta Krishna Prabhu. So if anyone clicks on the chat, you'll see there's only like a couple messages. There's 2 messages in the chat. If you click on it, you'll see it's the first one there. And on that square link, you can order the full set. It's very straightforward. If you click that, you'll see it there. You just put in your shipping address and make the payment, and you'll get the whole set soon. So it's pretty straightforward. It's just in the Zoom chat there.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Maharaj or Rishi Kumar Prabhuji, is there any possibility instead of taking full set, can we take individual volumes?
Yes, you can do that. You can take as many or as few as you need, and that's fine. We have them all in stock. So it's not only the set. If you're not ready to take the set, you can take 1 volume or 2 volumes or whatever you feel comfortable with. That's fine.
Yeah, each of the individual volumes are also available. It's on RVC Publishing. Here, I can put the website in the chat as well.
Yes, Maharaj. So we will place some of the books for ourselves, and I will let you know if anybody want any bulk orders. So I'm encouraging all of you take these books and read these books. These are all very detailed pastimes of Krishna.
Can I tell something?
Yeah.
I would just like to thank Guru Maharaj for his incredible effort, for all the time and energy he dedicated to bringing us these books. Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Also, Maharaj's other contributions, like about cosmology, they are amazing. And we would like to order some of those other literatures as well. If there is a link to get those books also, it will be very helpful for us.
Yes, I just posted the RVC Publishing website in the Zoom chat. Bhaskar Ananda Prabhu also just posted it there. So if any devotees would like to order individual books, they're all available there on the site. And then just to make it easy for getting the whole set, that first link in the chat is there as well.
And the cosmology books are all there. And all the other texts on different subjects we have, they're also present there.
And I have one more question regarding the cosmology. There are multiple books. So, is there any possibility to go through at least few pages, inside pages, so that I can understand what are good for my needs?
What was that? Did you get that, Rishi Kumar?
Yeah, out of the cosmology books, she was saying there are a few different ones. So how can she know which cosmology books would be like most suited for her or best for her needs?
I wonder if there's any description given of them on our website. If not, maybe that would be a good idea.
Yeah. I think there is a description of them on the site, and if not, then yeah, we can put that on there.
Yeah, if possible, some few inside pages also, if they are there, then I can pick Prabhuji. It will be helpful for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so if no more questions, no more discussions, then
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Those books there. So that's the Gaga Samhita there.
This is I'm pointing to now. This is the whole Gaga Samhita, yes. 30 volumes. A lot of transcendental bliss here.
so Maharaj, all these 30 volumes on Krishna pastimes only.
There could be a Bhagavatam or a Gaga Samhita 30 volumes written every moment of Krishna's activities.
So all canto elaboration is these 30 volumes. Am I right, Maharaj?
30, what's that?
This is more elaboratory pastimes of Krishna, which is described in 10th canto only, right? It's not any other lila like Narsimha lila, Varaha lila. All those things are not there in Garga Samhita.
Oh, it's primarily, yes, the lifetime of Krishna.
Only for lifetime per Krishna, 30 volumes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. For example, I'll give you an example. In the fight between Krishna and the duck demon, Baka. So Baka, Sura, the Bhagavatam briefly describes the fight, but the Gaga Smita describes the fight in great detail. And it wasn't so simple. First of all, according to Gaga Smita, what began was when Baka was there, and the demigods, one by one, started going down there to protect Krishna, protect baby Krishna, because they were devotees. So Indra went down, he took his thunderbolt weapon. He was defeated easily by Bakasura. Then Brahma came with his Brahmadanda. He was defeated. Yamaraj came. He was defeated. Shiva came. He was defeated. One after another, all the great demons came to try to protect Krishna. They were all defeated. So Krishna had nothing. He had to take care of him himself. So you read about all those fights, and it's very, very interesting. So yes, they're all pastimes and extensions. Sometimes, because Gargamuni was so intimately connected with Krishna and the family, the other dynasty, his descriptions will be unique. Because things that only he was aware of. For example, the 10th canto is largely about the performance of the Rajasuya sacrifice of Ugrasena, King Ugrasena. And this Rajasuya sacrifice and Ashwamedha sacrifice, both of them took place in the time while the Pandavas were in exile. Duryodhana and company had successfully exiled the Pandavas for 13 years. But during that time, on the 8th year, there was a big performance of this yajna, because Kamsa had already been killed when Krishna was a child, and now he had grandchildren. So this is quite a bit later, and the whole description of the sacrifice was tremendous. Such an exciting. Then the description of the Digvijay, sending out of the horse, challenge horse, to see if anyone would capture the challenge horse, they would have to fight with Ugrasena and his armies. And he had Pradyumna, Aniruddha, the sons and grandson of Krishna. They were protecting the horse. So all these fights are there. And something beautiful. There's a whole description of Ekadashi. One volume is called Ekadashi. One volume is, let's see, I can read you some of the titles. Rukmini Krishna, and there's Rasa. Butter Thief, Krishna comes to earth, Krishna's planet. Krishna enters Vrindavan, Krishna's Vraja sports, the Rasa dance. Giriraj, king of mountains. Goddess Yamuna, Krishna, prophecy. Musician Narada, glorious Dvarka. Krishna's gopis meet. Krishna's queens meet the gopis. The previous life of King Ugrasena. In his former life, he was King Marut. He was the king who made the Rajasuya sacrifice so opulent that it can never be equaled. There's so much gold that no one can even carry it. He's left all the gold there. That's where the Pandavas went to get their golds for the sacrifice of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So then Krishna's sons win brides. There were some matches. They had to show their prowess with shooting arrows. And by doing that, they would win the queens of these princesses, princesses of a great king. So the first 18 sons of Krishna, the prominent ones, they all got queens by that fighting. Pradyumna the Great, Krishna's advanced Vedic warfare, the Krishnastra weapon, Garuda and the parrot. That's a very interesting pastime. I don't think anyone's heard that. I never heard of it. It's a wonderful story about Garuda and the parrot. Yagasmita. And then the 8th canto is called Lord Balaram. It's all about Lord Balaram, his pastimes, and these different names and things falling down. And then Krishna steals the Parijata tree. The Parijata stealing was a very long, ongoing saga that the Gauri Samhita really captures. And other scriptures are quoted in the commentary as well. Harivamsa and other scriptures give quite a bit of detail. Mahabharata, that's included, so it makes it a very nice understanding. Because otherwise, sometimes we may become confused why the demigods took the side of Indra. So this gives a lot of nice background information why that happened and how it happened that they fought and were they really trying to kill each other or all that's described there. It's beautiful. And science of Bhakti Yoga. Yeah, that's Vyasadeva giving his. And Krishna steals a Parijata tree, Aniruddha, grandson of Krishna, Krishna's teacher, Sandipani Muni. Demons praise Krishna. Krishna's returned visit to Vraja. Krishna did go back to Vraja once, and that is for 2 weeks, is beautifully described. You won't want to miss that. And bring Gargamuni. This is the cover of that. You see behind me here this banner. I don't know if you can see it, yeah. That's this here, this is, where is it? That's Gargamuni. So, anything else?
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for your valuable time and explaining about the books and importance of reading the Vedic scriptures. We are very much inspired. We will place the order and let you know. With that, shall we conclude, Maharaj, or anything you want?
Yes, we can conclude. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so we wish you a very, very happy Ekadasi to all of you. We'll conclude the class by chanting 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra enthusiastically. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
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 Rama,
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 Hare
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 Hare,
Hare.
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama,
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 Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Vancha Kalpataru,
Jai.
His
Chandra
Holiness
Paritanam Pavani,
Danavir Goswami
Vaishnadevo
Maharaj
Namo Namah.
ki
Jai.
Prabhupada
Jai,
ki jai.
Jai.
Jai,
Pattarabhyascha kripa sindhobhya eva cha
Vancha
patitanam
Patitanam
pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
vaiष्णvo namo
Vaishnadevo
namaha.
Namo Namah.
Saki
Hare
Hare
Prasanyacha,
Krishna.
Sanapavana Vaishnava.
Thank
Thank you
you,
very much,
Maharaj.
Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Chandra
Hare Krishna,
Jai Jagannath.
Jai Jagannath.
Jai Jagannath.